What's going on, beautiful people? This is the Perspective Chasers podcast, and I'm your host, John. On this episode, I want to talk about striving versus surviving. Now, for me, it's a question I ask myself a lot of the time. Am I trying to survive life, or am I pushing for more? And truth be told, is a lot of the time I'm surviving. Like, things ain't always easy, and sometimes life catches you off guard, and you've got to deal with this, that, and everything else. And you literally just have to go into survival mode. You batten down the hatches and you get through it regardless. And that's okay. But don't get stuck in that mode. There's times when you've got to batten down the hatches and bear the storm, trust me. But that's not all the time. Sometimes you've got to swing for the fences and get your hits in. It's going to be a constant ebb and flow. And it's easy to get stuck in the cycle of each. And I'm not going to tell you what to do with your life, but for me, if I'm not striving for something better, then I'm complacent and I start to self-hate and beat myself up for not getting better because I'm not where I want to be, because I'm literally just surviving life and doing nothing to get myself out of the situation. But then when I'm fighting for things and to make things better in that, then my idea of self is far better. It's far more positive, and I'm far more supportive of myself because I know that I'm trying to change things. And there's so many people that I meet that are just stuck in this surviving mode, that they're caught up in literally just trying to survive life, trying to survive the bills, and they forget to try for better or push for better. And I know it's not always easy, but there's only one person that's going to make your life better, and it's you. So if you're trying to make your life better, be grateful to yourself. But if you're not, understand that you've got to put in the work. If you want your life to change, if you want things to be better, it's down to you. There's so many reasons to feel sorry for yourself, but you just can't. Like, I understand things ain't easy, and I get that the world can be savage, but you have to be more resilient. You have to sit there and knuckle down when things get tough. You have to fight when you don't feel like you've got anything more, because giving up ain't an option. Like, I don't care who you are, you've got it in you to fight back. Everybody has the power to fight for themselves. You just have to have a little bit of self-belief. You might not be able to win the war, but you can start winning battles, and you can start going on the offensive, and you can start making things better for yourself. Being stuck in the mindset that you're defeated and you're down is toxic. And it's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to get yourself out of it. There are so many people out there that are facing hardships right now. And I'm sorry, but there's nobody that's going to come to their rescue. So why is anybody going to come to yours? But if you do something to start helping yourself, if you start striving for better times rather than just surviving the onslaught of life, you give yourself a light at the end of the tunnel. You give yourself a reason to wake up, a hope that there's an end date to the torment. Whereas if you're just surviving, there is no light at the end of the tunnel. You feel lost. You feel like you're in the abyss. You feel like you're at sea. Because you don't know a way out. You don't think there's a way out. But there's always a way out. You just have to get back up and fight for it. It comes back down to you every single time. It's your life. Take control of it. And understand that if you're surviving right now, That's okay, but be realistic about how long you've been doing that. If you've been surviving the same situation for extended periods of time, it's time to do something about it. And if you're doing something about it, appreciate yourself for it. Because you're doing the one thing that a lot of people struggle to do. And that's find energy to fight for yourself when you've already dished out energy for everybody else. And that's not easy. It's not easy to go to work, do all your responsibilities at home, do this, do that, and then still find extra energy to do something for you down the line, or do something for somebody else which is going to make you feel better. Or go to the gym and get in shape and get your meals right and this and that, or improve your quality of life in any area. It's not easy, but when you put in the work, you'll see the reward. And you're the only one that's going to be there to put in the work. But when you do, you'll see it pay off. There's story after story of people that finally get to the point where it's unbearable. They've had enough. So they put everything they've got into changing themselves and improving their quality of life. And they break through. Because they finally put the effort into themselves and said, I ain't going to give up. Well, unfortunately, that's the stage you have to get to for things to change. If you ain't willing to go through the things that you do not want to go through, I'm sorry, but the situation ain't bad enough. You can take more. When you get to the point where the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing, then things will change for you. But it don't always have to get there. You can realize you need to change beforehand. You can realize that there are things that you can do to improve your life before it gets to the extremes. You just have to have the self-awareness. You just have to take some time and sit with yourself and ask yourself what you really want. And it's not an easy question. You might not come up with the answer straight away, but keep asking. It gets into what I was saying in another episode of, you'd put in the effort if you was getting paid. You'd put in the effort if it was somebody else, if it was somebody that you cared about and this and everything else. So put in the effort for yourself. You can do it. You just need a little bit of self-belief. It's so disheartening when you see the level of people's self-worth these days is so low. Each and every person on this planet has the potential for so much. But yet, by comparing themselves to others, they destroy themselves, or they destroy their sense of self. But it doesn't have to be like that. Break away from the social medias and comparing yourself to other people. You're not them. Be you and figure out who that is. It's not always easy, but it's damn sight better than just battening down the hatches and surviving the storm. Whenever the storm breaks, fight back. Move where you can. Do what you can. You can only play the hand that you're dealt. But it's down to you how you play it. On that note, I'm going to end the episode. The seed for this episode is really ask yourself, are you surviving life or are you striving for a better life? All the best, and I'll catch you on the next one.